Greetings, Flesh Wound Horror freaks, and welcome to Flesh Wound Horror. I'm Flesh Wound Dan, joined by producer Todd.
Good evening.
And Pugs Dread.
Namaste. Howdy.
So tonight, Todd held up the Blu-rays from HorrorPack. We're going to be covering these two films, and
our first reviews of the actual horror pack that's not an unboxing.
You know, that's why I was stalling. I was like, have we reviewed any?
We've reviewed films that Horror Film have put out, or Horror Pack have put out.
Yeah,
but we have never reviewed Horror Pack discs, to be honest with you. And this is kind of something I don't know if I should be saying because we're at number 99. This is actually the first two Horror Pack discs I've watched.
Oh wow!
They got their money.
The movies, I just haven't watched the discs. Some of them I'd seen before. Some of them, but these are the first. So, but I mean, when we got these, if you go back and check out our unboxing, I was pretty excited for once we figured out what was going on. Pretty excited to check these both out. Which is
some football themed.
These were actually crowdfunded. Just had their world premiere earlier this month. They hit the horror pack this month, so it's kind of cool. So we're getting our reviews done. So let's see if we like them.
Absolutely. So we'll kick it off with the first film from co-directors Sofia Cacciola and Michael J. Epstein, The Once and Future Smash. So in 1970, Mikey and William both portrayed football cannibal Smash Mouth in the influential cult hit End Zone 2. Now, 50 years later, they're storming the convention circuit, trying to reclaim the iconic role in the upcoming reboot sequel that starts 1 hour into End Zone 2, ignoring the last 30 minutes. Only one can wear the mask. So the Once and Future Smash, truth be told, when it comes to mockumentaries, I don't always dislike them, but they're more miss than hit for me. I find them like amusing to the point, and usually after about the halfway, I'm just ready for it to be over. It's never been my thing. Having said that, I did enjoy this one because if there's one thing I'm familiar with, it's the convention scene and the convention experience. And I thought they had a lot of really funny gags here. Number one, I'll talk about the cast. We have Michael St. Michaels of Video Dead and the Greasy Strangler as Mikey Smash, and Bill Whedon as
Still
William
shameless.
Mouth.
No. You do not disrespect Bill Whedon with that lackluster introduction. Trauma legend, star of Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD. Come on.
All right. That's fine. I wasn't running down. I didn't.
Tell him.
Cool. I mean,
it's the 50th anniversary of Trauma. You're not going to give the man his flowers. I find that.
I gave him his fucking flowers.
Todd. No, you did not. Todd is correct on this.
All right, fine. What do you want? Next time, I'm just going to shit on him, Todd. Fuck Sergeant Kabuki Man. Todd.
Fuck you.
Well, anyways. All right. Both legends. So they're like the main cast. Now, in terms of celebrities in this, which I can't even call them cameos because they do pop up throughout the movie. So, a lot of these guys actually have screen time.
Yeah, there's some that you get a couple that just pop up for one little segment, but a lot of them, it's not.
Yeah.
One ruined it for me.
Oh, yeah. But you know what?
I was like, there goes Pug Star.
Just for men, Neutron Head. Fuck that dude.
Hey, but Lloyd's in there, so I think that should overbalance.
So as far as the cast playing themselves, I thought they all had really funny lines. Like, it wasn't. I mean, even Victor Miller's in this thing. Jennifer Rubin, Adam Marcus, which was kind of a highlight for me. I thought that some of his lines about Jason Goes to Hell were really funny. And he's like, and that's canon, bitches. Jason Goes to Hell, but I still laughed.
I love Jason Goes to Hell. God damn it. Duke's the man.
only
do
one
not.
I didn't like. But Todd Farmer and Adam Marcus bonding over their love of End Zone 2, and then Todd Farmer getting ready to show his End Zone 2 dick tattoo. That made me laugh.
You know, I think that was the one thing that I was kind of like, you know what? If he had that, we'd all have seen it by now. Come on.
Yeah.
I was like
He's not one to
50-50.
shy away.
I was like 50-50. I'm like, Todd Farmer for a laugh might just show his dick. And then the when they're running down like the football horror themed knockoffs.
Oh, yeah.
I blitz on your grave. I thought was hilarious. I want to see that made.
I loved all the fake artwork for the football, but yeah.
They should make trailers for all of those. I would be fucking so down.
Though my absolute favorite was when they're explaining the confusing history, and they got Claudio Fragasso and Rosella Drudy, who did a ripoff film that was released as End Zone 3, but it's actually just Cannibal Linebacker and non-canon to the actual films. I really like this movie's sense of humor.
I loved how, and there were still those people that they were like, "Oh yeah, no, but that's the good one." Because it's exactly what
we know happened. These people. We're some of these people.
I'd be the one who likes End Zone 3.
Yeah,
but then the 3D one though too, so it'd be a whole thing.
I'd say this mostly won me over. Like, there's still moments where I'm like, I just don't like the mockumentary. I don't think it's turned me around on mockumentaries. But particularly the convention stuff. The running gag, touchdown. Like, I've seen guys that, like, you can tell, like, are really just trying to hold on to that tiny bit of fame. I liked it a lot. The James Dean hologram, that was funny as shit. And the eBay scam and everything. This had several great laughs in it, and I did enjoy it quite a bit. And like I said, they make good use of the celebrities: Lorene Landon, Jennifer Rubin, Lloyd Kaufman, Mark Scheffler, who's genuinely hilarious. And I also love the idea that just getting sacked basically turns a guy into Cropsy. But hot tag, what'd you guys think?
I found it entertaining as hell. This movie's fun. This made me want to watch End Zone. Like, I want this to be real, and thankfully later on we'll get to see a version of this. But yeah, this is a good time, front to back, hiccups and all. I don't mind the mockumentary style, having them run around the convention, like just doing nerd stuff, entering competitions. I won't give too much away. It's like, I don't know, it's comfortable, it's familiar, it's funny, and I appreciate that. And the slight spoiler, but the beefing heads between tables, that's just too funny. I like, it makes sense. Bravo to this.
They used to always stick old Lorenzo Lamas between his ex-wives. That was always
it's not a highlight gag or anything, but when Spash is just abusing his assistant AJ, one that just made me laugh was when he was like carrying his bag, and he's like, AJ, pick up that bag. I don't want the wheel to wear out. It's like little, but I'm like, what a dick. And
I don't want to give too many spoilers, but there's a scene involving a dollar. I'm like, I've seen this take place. It wasn't as extreme as this, but yeah, there was some heated animosity for a couple of bills.
Was it a kid though trying to give him?
No,
19?
It wasn't a kid. No,
okay.
It was. Although special needs may have been a factor. You can't always tell.
I have known some celebrities that are shockingly not afraid to be like absolute pieces of shit.
To be fair, they are at work. Like, you are there to have a good time. They are currently trying to make a living and pay their bills. Everyone has a bad day.
You know what? I'm not going to actually say the name because he's going to be at a future convention. But there's that one. But no, he it was a kid that
every time you censor me, you motherfucker.
It was a kid that didn't friend of the show story. didn't really know how conventions worked, and he brought him a comic book of something that he was in and was just talking to him about it. And it's like, are you getting it signed or what? And he's like, oh, no, I just wanted to show you. And he's like, have a good day. And he just like dropped it right in his hand and looked away from him. A kid. So I've seen.
You're in the way of
Did he have a
money,
line?
But that's yeah. I was gonna.
No.
Oh,
No.
Oh, well, then he was just bitter that no one else wanted to come say what's up.
But a kid. So
No, I agree. There's times like, you know what? It doesn't matter. You're gonna make this dude's day, this kid's day.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. And I'm not saying he had to sign it or anything. Just, talk to the kids talking to you.
At least he didn't pull a fucking Danzig. This is a fucking bootleg. He keeps it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Technically, he can't keep it though. Like if you want
Try to take it away from him, he kept it. Not from me, but that's yeah.
That's hilarious.
Penny pincher.
But like I said, the whole convention thing, I've seen it before. Sometimes it's really depressing too, because it's like you see nobody's meeting someone, and it's like, I've been in that situation with
not to
celebrity
be too
before.
much of a nerd here, but I was at a comic convention and Neil Adams' table was fucking empty. I'm like, you guys don't know shit. Like, that dude's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
What the hell's wrong with you? Anyway, go ahead.
They're all just there to meet the big at the time Walking Dead.
I got more time with him,
is.
so that was cool. But I'm like, this is bullshit.
But no, for me, to like a mockumentary movie, there's something there. I did enjoy it, even though, like I said, it was weighing on me a little bit towards the end. But yeah, I recommend this one. Shockingly,
I love a good mockumentary, and this one is heads and tails above a lot of the ones I've seen lately. Like the last horror one I remember was Toxic Tutu. Shocker, I was not a fan of that one. But yeah, this one, like you said, it nails the feel of the convention. I'll say the cast, not the cameos, are really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Yeah, I'm really glad that, out of the HorrorPack, it took me to 98 to watch one. But I'm really glad I did. And I was total blast.
And I will start talking about Smash Mouth once we get to the other thing, because I like it.
Well, so do we want to rate this one then, I guess?
Yeah, yep.
Sure.
So
we haven't even talked about the concept, really. We'll talk about that in between, actually, before we go straight into the next one. So yeah, go ahead. Dan.
Yeah, the movie. For me, I'm a 3.5, and that's pretty damn high for me for a mockumentary.
Pugs?
I'm shocked because I'm actually the exact same. 3.5 out of 5.
I'm a 4.5, and not just because Lloyd's in it.
Oh.
So I really did love this one. But I also really love the concept, because we've talked about the fictional movie End Zone 2, but they went ahead and made it.
Nice blender.
Yeah. So yeah.
If you will, it is no dream, Big Lebowski.
And I think the funny thing about it is it's an hour long. It doesn't have the last 30 minutes. We get the little screen ahead of it that kind of gives us a little rundown, the last available prints, this and that. So it really felt like it was shot on film. I couldn't tell if it was. It doesn't look like it would be 8, but the film look was well. I think the scratches and stuff they put over. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of the whole process.
Do you want me to read what it's about?
Yeah. That's.
But before you do, what order would you recommend watching this in? Would you watch the movie and then the doc, or the doc and then the
I definitely think the doc is the correct order to go in. While you do get some clips which could be considered spoilers, I think it fills you in on the story of the movie, because we don't get part 1, which was a 30. Well, that's all. Watch this and you'll get it.
Yeah.
But because you don't really get that backstory if you just watch this. So I guess that's kind of just going in and watching part 2, though, like you would on any movie.
Yeah.
But we went with the order. Well, yeah, this is 90 on the HorrorPack numbering. This one comes before this. So.
Okay.
And from everything I read up, that was the way to go, was the mockumentary, and then the feature film, the Lost feature film.
That is the way I went. I do kind of wish I went the other way.
Really?
Just
we'll
because
talk about that at the end.
Yeah.
All right. So from 1970, and director August Kane. We have End Zone 2. And in this film, 15 years after the events of End Zone, Smash Mouth is back to finish off the cheerleaders who killed his mother. I'll go first because I'll be honest, this is where it runs thin for me. I didn't really. It's cool that they made the movie. This one just doesn't really work as much. I didn't think there was as much to it.
You didn't like Rawhead Rex, man?
There were a couple fun, goofy bits towards the very end. But I think this one kind of meanders. It's only an hour and 1 minute, I believe. So it's not long, but I'm like, okay, the joke's worn thin for me now. I'm not really believing that this is when it was shot. Now, again, it's a comedy, so you can overlook maybe these people don't look accurate to the period or anything like that. But yeah, I don't know. I would be fine.
AJ looked accurate to the period.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. This one, I don't have a ton to say. It's fun in the last like 10 minutes or so, but and the music does feel legit. They did a pretty good job on the music.
There's actually only one person in the cast that made me feel like that they didn't belong in that era, and that was because of her hair, and that was the black chick. I can't remember her name. Was that when Shelley, or was that Nancy? I can't remember.
No,
but she
Nancy.
was only one of
Nancy.
Okay, okay, yeah. I just something about her hair didn't feel the right style. It felt like a modern style.
I kind of felt like maybe this would have worked okay as like a short. It just didn't, and maybe that's again. Watching it right after, I just was like,
See,
you peaked early for me. I think
it runs out of steam when you watch it the way we did. I think I would have liked to have seen it the reverse way and had a break in between to feel like I earned this documentary. But
if this came out by itself and you just watch this, I don't think there's much anything there.
No, it's a companion piece.
Yeah, it feels like a special feature kind of deal, and it should have been shorter. But that's me.
I disagree. I thought at an hour, I had fun with it. It was fun. It was just a slasher throwback. I didn't have. I liked that we were getting to see the stuff we kind of heard about in the documentary.
I'm spoiler sensitive, which is why I'm like, fuck. I probably should have watched it the other way around.
I am too, but I think the thing like this is like the kind of feel is like you used to watch like horror documentaries or stuff, and then as you watch, you'd find stuff to watch.
Yeah.
And then you'd go and watch. So you'd have a few spoilers going in. So that's kind of what it felt like to me. Kind of like how, now I guess the modern version would be In Search of Darkness. You find something you want to watch and then you go watch it.
Yeah. But this one's based on one movie, which is
right.
a little different.
Yeah. But it was like that. But here's the thing. I watched documentaries on the day the clown died, and I still can't wait to see it eventually this year, hopefully. Don't think it's happening. But I mean, so because it is supposed to be a lost film, the whole thing, the way it was worked, I like the concept, I like the thing, and that might have helped me like the second film more. We should have got the new last half hour. That's what I would have liked.
That would have been cool. Yeah, but I fell in love with Smash Mouth. I fucking love Rawhead Rex. So like just having that still mask in this hulking type of body, it is great. It's too fun. That was my thing, and it's only an hour. It didn't drag for me. I will say it ran out of steam because I was laughing so much in the other one. And this one, the other one I'm laughing with. This one I'm kind of laughing at certain points. But I think it was on purpose. I don't know. But Smash Mouth fucking rocks. And if we get End Zone 3 or 4, count me in.
I want the Claudio Fragasso Rosella Drudy directed cannibal linebacker.
I want that, and I want the 3D one. Come on, give us them all.
All right. So, well, I'm obviously lower. I'm a 1.5.
Oh wow. Okay. I am a 3 out of 5. I did like it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'm a 3 also on this one. I did have a good time. I could probably and even though like I don't think it's too much spoiler. even though we don't get the last 30 minutes, you still kind of wrap up the story. So it ends like a slasher would have. So I don't feel like,
Where's the rest? Yeah.
Yeah. So I was happy. I was kind of like, oh God, I hope we don't kind of just leave like unresolved. I felt like the resolution it felt like it was complete, even though it's not.
So end zone post game. It balls in your court.
Yeah, I definitely contribute if they do another one. I'm surprised I didn't any of us heard about these before when these were crowdfunding. So the concept alone would have got me interested to at least pay attention. So I'm really glad these were a nice surprise from HorrorPack. I'm very happy.
Yeah, and I know Mad Monster Party and Without Your Head Radio Niels from that is in there as Backwoods Bob, I believe was the character name. So yeah, check it out, guys. At least for me, that first one was surprisingly funny. So, and with that being said, we will see you back here next time. Good night.
Money's on the dresser.
I'll see you on Disneyland.